Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we're doing a grenade guide. Now, you might be thinking, well, I kind of know what grenades do. You throw them, they explode, they kill people. Well, we're actually going to get into the technicalities. How far you can throw them, how much damage they do, what they're good for. Do they have weird other properties that you might have not known about? So we're going to start off with the basic M67 frag grenade. This is me, and I can throw it as far as the flag right there. So you can throw the M67 35 meters. It can approximately hit maybe 36 on a good bounce. Now, if you throw it straight up in the air, it will actually detonate before it hits the ground just because of the grenade's timer. If you throw it at the ground, it will kill anybody in one hit, provided that they are in the kill radius, which is approximately 3 to 4 meters. From there, the damage drops off to eventually 0 at around 7 meters. Now, if you're looking for a little more range, the V40 mini grenades can be thrown 44 meters. You throw them faster, it's easier to get them into windows at a distance. I really like these grenades. If you throw them straight up in the air, they're great for getting hard to reach places, snipers up on cranes or rooftops. It's very easy to take them out with the V40 mini grenade. Now, the maximum damage of the V40 mini grenade is 80, so you're not going to be able to one-shot kill anybody with this grenade. However, you start off with 3 of them, so you can always just throw a follow-up grenade. It seems to have a 3 to 4 meter radius for that 80 damage, and again drops off to around 7-ish meters. You can also regenerate them very quickly if you throw down an ammo crate. I think it's a little bit too quickly in my opinion, but having 3 of these grenades is incredibly powerful. I think they are far superior to frag grenades just because you can throw them much further. They still do really good damage and you get 3. Next up, we have the RGO impact grenades, which perform a lot like the M67 frags in that you can throw them 35 meters. The difference is that they detonate on impact. So if you throw them straight up in the air, they're not going to detonate in the air. They're going to come down, hit the ground, and then explode. There's no timer. It's just impact based. The maximum damage is 67, which makes it the least damaging grenade of the 3 explosive types, but because your opponent really has no warning when you throw this grenade at them, it is still a very, very effective grenade, and you get 2 of them. I like these a lot. In fact, the minis and impact grenades are 2 of my favorite grenades in the game. Next up, we have the Incendiary grenade, which I'm not going to lie is pretty much the worst grenade available, and I'll explain why. First of all, you can only throw it 32 meters, which is the shortest distance out of any other grenades. Third, if you throw it directly on somebody and they're just standing there, it will not kill them. It will take them down to 1 hit. There is no initial explosion damage. It just does damage over time if you're standing in the fire area. If you run through the fire area, it will continue to do damage to you, and it will actually do 60 damage to you if you just happen to pass through the fire while it's going on and then run out of the fire. If you hang out in the fire, it'll do more, but it will never be able to one-shot you. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if you maybe got 2 or 3 incendiary grenades, but you only get 1, so you're trying to figure out the trade-off here. Why take 1 grenade that's not going to one-shot anybody when I could at least have a frag, which will kill somebody in 1 hit, or I could have 3 mini grenades. Now, here's the effect of the incendiary grenade on the FLIR sight, and then we also have it on the infrared night vision sight. While it's going off, it will sort of obstruct the vision of these sights. It'll also obstruct, normal vision, so it creates a little cloud of smoke after that too. So I guess you could use it as like a very short-lived smoke grenade, but still, you only get 1 of them. And speaking of smoke grenades, I actually really like them, and I've got some setups that I want to try out with these smokes. You get to carry 3 of them, you can chuck them 37 meters, and they emit smoke. They don't deal any damage. They're purely for visual obstruction. You can't spot people through the smoke now, which is really nice. Here's the effects when somebody has a laser sight on. You will still sort of see the laser sight coming through the smoke, so if you're trying to remain incognito, definitely don't have your laser sight on while you're trying to hide in the smoke. Now, if you throw down multiple smoke grenades, the cloud gets much thicker and it becomes much more difficult to see your opponent. One thing that I'm not sure if everybody knows about, and I'm kind of worried about telling everybody, is that if you throw down an ammo crate, you can throw smoke grenades indefinitely. Now, I'm kind of worried to see what's going to happen on Operation Locker, because you can just keep chucking these things endlessly, and you're never going to run out of them. So you can effectively obstruct one corridor indefinitely with smoke grenades, which will lead to some interesting tactics, I'm sure. Now you gotta watch out though, because anybody using a FLIR sight or an infrared night vision sight is going to be able to see through this smoke. As you can see, I've thrown 3 smoke grenades. That's as thick as the smoke gets, and you don't even see it on this scope. Same with night vision, so just watch out for that, and make sure you're not calling out hacks when you run through your smoke cloud and get shot by somebody using one of these sights. Next up, we have the Flashbang. You can carry 2 of these guys, and you can throw them just as far as smoke grenades, which is 37 meters. Now, they leave a tiny little puff of smoke afterwards, which I guess you could call visual obstruction, but it lasts for such a short period of time that I don't really count it as one of the cool benefits of this grenade. Now, the whole point of the Flashbang is to blind your opponent, perhaps deafen them for a short period of time, and use that as a distraction to, say, enter a room, clear it out, that sort of thing. My biggest issue with the Flashbang is that the blinding effect lasts for such a short period of time that it becomes almost completely ineffective. Now, the visuals are actually exaggerated on the spectator cam. For the most part, when I was trying this out in-game, the effect was much less than this. Technically, the effective range is even beyond 10 meters, but it's so minuscule at that range that it pretty much doesn't do anything. The effect can also be completely covered up by somebody standing in front of the Flashbang, which is going to make it very difficult to clear a clustered room of guys if it only affects the first row of people. And as you can see here, FLIR and infrared night vision sights are really not affected by the Flashbangs too much. I mean, just for a split second and then you're good to go. Now, last up on the list is the flares. You can carry a group of these guys, I think 3 flares. You can throw them about 43 meters, which is pretty good throw distance. They don't do any damage. They might ignite gasoline slicks in the new Operation Firestorm map. You can stand on these things. They're not going to burn you. They're not going to do anything. You can use them to try and designate areas. One cool thing though is they totally screw FLIR sights and infrared night vision. So if you're playing on a map and you feel like some opponents are really taking advantage of these sights, as you can see when you come around this corner here, this whole hallway becomes completely unseeable once you've got a flare going down there. So that is a very cool effect of the flares, probably the only really useful effect. But if you're playing on a map where people are really taking advantage of smoke and infrared night vision or FLIR sights, then flares will completely counteract that tactic. So that kind of wraps it up for the grenade guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Personally, my favorite grenades right now are the V40 minis. I also really like the RGO impact grenades. I think they're both incredibly useful. I think the V4 minis are perhaps the most useful, and the fact that you get 3 of them just seems a little bit overpowered. I'm sure the grenades could use a little bit of balancing here and there. I know Dice is probably worried about the grenade spam, so you know, it's got to be done very carefully. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.